Welcome back, Photo One. So now we are ready to we're going to bring in two more objects today. So I'm going to select the mountain sun, place photo icon, select files. And the next thing we're going to bring in is this tricky tree. So it's got tons of, this is going to take us some time, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to click and drag in on the corner, and I want this tree to be centered and about right there. Okay, so I feel good about that, and I'm going to select done. Okay, and now I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to use the selection tool to select the tree. So I'm going to select the select object tree, and I'm going to click and drag around the tree and not try to get too much of the ground beneath it. Okay, so of course it doesn't look good. Look how it didn't like select a lot of like the like sky. So I'm going to select more and refine edge, and it's already on overlay. If it's not, make sure you select overlay, and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to take some time to just click and drag over all the blue, and it's going to turn it red and all around the edges. And yeah, it's going to take some time. But yeah, you got to do the work. So, yep. Da, 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 da. Okay, so you're going to take a lot longer than I am. And all right, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly feather, just slightly feather. I'm just going to put like a 1.0 pixel feather on it, which is going to make it kind of wispy around the edges. And then I'm going to hit done. Okay, and then I'm going to hit mask. Okay, and so yeah, it looks kind of harsh. So I'm also going to move it down a little bit. All right, and I want it to look like it's coming from behind these like weeds behind Max. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, make sure that the mask of the tree is selected. I'm going to take the paintbrush, and I'm going to make sure I'm painting with black, make sure it's a soft brush. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot smaller than that. Let's do like 250 or something like that. And I'm just going to gently delete a little bit of that. Okay, so now that looks like it's like more so coming out of like from behind those weeds. Perfecto. Okay, so the next thing we're going to bring in is that vulture. So I'm going to go to files, and I'm going to select vulture. Maybe. There we go. Took a second. All right, and I'm going to make it a lot smaller. And I want it to be like it's swooping into the tree. Perfect. So I'm going to hit done. Okay, and then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take the selection subject tool, object tool, and click and drag around the vulture. And I'm going to refine the edge so I can kind of see, what's going on here, and do it again. I'm just going to go around the edges of his feathers, and that looks so much better. Okay, so I'm going to hit done and then mask. All right, and I'm like really happy with that. Okay, the only thing I want to do is I'm going to change the color of the vulture a little bit. So make sure that you select the picture of the vulture, and then I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to go down to the black and white cookie, the add clipped adjustment, and I'm going to add curves. Okay, so I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to pick the output of black right here, and I'm going to select the output to be, I want it to be 23. I'm going to click and drag it to 23, and then I'm going to pick the gray, and I'm going to pick it to be input of, oops. Okay, I'm going to trash that because I did a terrible job. I'm going to bring it up so I can actually see it a little bit better. Reset. Okay, so I wanted the input of the black to be 23, and then of the gray at the top, I want the in to be 128, and 128 the input, and I want the output to be 180. 180 and 128. Okay, I love that so much better. It just has a lot more depth to it. Okay, I'm also going to add another. I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna pick the vulture again, and I'm gonna hit the properties. I'm gonna add another clipped adjustment, and this time I'm going to add color balance. Okay, and for cyan and red, I'm gonna do negative 55. For magenta and green, I'm going to change it to negative 42. And then for yellow and blue, I'm going to change it to 9. Okay, and I just like the coloring way better. It kind of like works with our color scheme so much better. All right, so that is it for this one, part 2. We're going to save, publish and export. Make sure we save a PSD version, export. Okay, go to Creative Cloud. Go to Max the Elephant folder and upload. In the upper right hand corner, I'm looking at the cloud, swirling, swirling, swirling. I'm not going to exit until it's a green check mark to make sure that it's saved. And then I'm also going to save it as a JPEG. One day. Again, it's like way bigger. It's going to take a long time for it to make it a PSD because now we have 5 or 6 layers on there of images and lots of layers of adjustments. And I'm also recording, so it's taking longer. Okay, back to Photoshop. I'm going to export again, publish and export, JPEG, export, Creative Cloud, Max the Elephant, and upload. And it hardly, oh, it's still going. Hardly took any time. All right, that's part 2.